And we're recording. I've got Andrea here with me today. Hi, Andrea.
Hey, Angie.
It was really important for me to ask Andrea to be part of these conversations because Andrea was the first person I really spoke to when we went down to London for the ultimate experience. And Andrea made me a very big promise on the Friday night when we met for pre-drinks, which was that I would never be the same again. And it made me really excited, and I really hoped it was the truth, but it felt like a big promise and it turned out to be really true. So thank you, Andrea. Thank you for everything you gave me that night. And I'd really like to ask you, because I know you went to both events, I'd really like to ask you how you came to be at the Ultimate Experiences and your story to that point.
Oh, you got an hour? I don't know how much time you've got for this, so I'll give you the short version. How's that?
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, like the book came about, it came to me in various forms, in mostly by my intuition and dreams and guidance. So I was getting all these signals that I needed to be there. And starting with the book, I received the book as a gift for Steve's birthday. He was giving out 1,234 manuscripts of the book, and if you could commit to reading it and deleting it within 30 days. So I was like, yeah, I'm all over that, of course. And so yeah, it all started with committing to that, and I did, and I listened to that, and I took action. So the theme of everything was kind of hearing the invitation and taking one action, and hearing and trusting the intuition and thought, and kind of not thinking about it too much and doing something. So and it so that's how on November 11th I see stuff. I see like signs and dreams and stuff. So I got the urge, or the nudge, as Dave Orton called it, to actually leave my job. My job at that time was in for a hotel group, to do the inner work, the coaching work, what I'm really here for, to bring people to back here, back inside, back here, back now. And so yeah, just to share that. So November 11th, I had this realization, and I left my job and kind of committed to following my whatever was guiding me, and so leading me. And so that same guidance told spirit, what I recognize as spirit or intuition, told me, oh, you got to bring this rock to Steve in Arizona so you can gift it to him, so he can put it in his garden, his Zen garden. And that was, so 11/11 is the theme. Everything kind of unfolded from listening to those intuitions. And so intuition told me to quit my job. So I did. On November 11th, I quit my job. And intuition, spirit, told me to bring this rock to Steve in Arizona, but I'm in Canada, and at that time we were locked down because of all these restrictions to travel. So but I was getting this strong intuition, bring this rock to Steve. So it was like not a very logical thing to do, but I was like, okay. And I went about getting a ticket to Phoenix and jumping through a bunch of hoops. And so that was the first event that Judy created along with others. And yeah, I understood it was sold out. And so I asked Judy, I said, hey, I think I'm supposed to be there at the event. I was also had an intuition to send her this picture, like I see signs, right? So I saw this bright blue light outside my window, and it was like, what's that? I take lots of photos of like sunsets, sunrises, that kind of thing, rainbows. And I saw this blue light, and I had this intuition spirit tell me, send it to Judy. And so I did, and I sent it January 11th, 111. So again, not a logical thing to do. And I did. And I sent it January 11th, which ended up being Jacob's birthday, Jacob, her son. And so, yeah, I felt it was a message from him to her. And that's when I asked about the event. And she said, yep, you're my guest. Even though it was sold out at the time, she said, come as my guest. So I sent her the ticket, sent her the photo on January 11th. I bought the ticket, the air ticket on that same day. So it was all, action, 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 action. So once it feels right, it's a beautiful thing because the commitment is there, and then action, commitment, action, commitment, action. So that's how I got to Phoenix, and with this rock. At the event, one of the speakers at the Arizona event was Philip Weech, and so I'm holding this rock that I'm supposed to give to Steve because Spirit said, and Philip says, if you have an inspired thought and are willing to take action on it, stand up. So half the audience, stood up. And then he says, okay, so that was our commitment. We were committing ourselves to the action, right? And then it was announced there's a 10-minute intermission. And so I knew that was the time, that was the moment that I had to actually do it. And it was like, who am I to bring anyways, all this stuff was going through my head. I'm bringing a rock to Steve. Anyways, I listened, and at intermission, I walked towards the front of the stage where Steve was still sitting. And yeah, in about 5 seconds, as I was walking there, like I had flown all the way from Canada, jumped through all the hoops, and then something inside me said, oh, that's a stupid thing to do. He's just going to laugh at you. Or I talked myself out of it. And I walked out of the hotel room in the other direction. I couldn't do it. And because something stopped me, and then I was what do I do now? I came all this ways to, and I knew that I was meant to be here, and that I was meant to do this, carry this out. And so I walked right into Rafal, and I told him I needed to, I was my intention, and that and he said, well, this is your opportunity. Here's Steve's address. You can put it in his garden yourself if you want. And something inside of me said, oh, that's silly. He's right here. It's me that's holding me back from doing this. So I turned right around and I walked back in, and I gave the rock to Steve, and it kind of explained a little bit about it. And I wrote, by the way, 1111 on the rock because that was inspired by Townsend Wardlaw, who gives out his phone number on a rock to say, if you ever need me, here. And 1111 was kind of when all the miracles started unfolding for me, and it's still unfolding because it's my spirit, my connection to spirit. When I'm connected and listening, not thinking, just surrendering kind of to that, and then it's all good. And so yeah, I gave him the rock, and it was like, whoa, that was, I got it done. And that was thanks to, being open to it and kind of not thinking about it. Yeah, I get to the airport and on my way to Arizona, and they say, "Oh, you can't board the flight." And I'm saying, "What? What?" You know, um, yeah, your identification, your names don't match up, because I hadn't changed my maiden name to my current name, and so they said, "No, you need proof that you changed your name, and be back here in an hour, or you can't get on the plane." So I'm like, and I'm running outside the airport at 6 a.m. with my suitcase, kind of, now what? But I was committed. I was so committed at this point. It was like, you know, then everything comes to help me. So what came to help me was there's the one taxi at 6 a.m. sitting there, and he saw me running, and I told him I need a miracle kind of thing. I told him I needed to get home and back to the airport and find my marriage certificate, like from 15 years ago, in a box. And he said, I got this. I got this. He heard it. He took control, and he was like my absolute angel. His name's Gada. He goes by Gada Eba, and he once he said that, I knew I had an angel with me, and he floored it all the way home. I've never been driven faster. Like, it was instant, and I knew everything was okay because he heard me. I asked, and he got it, and so he took me home, and I found my marriage certificate. He took me back, and like super fast. It was looking for a needle in a haystack, but because I was committed and taking action, I was helped like all along the way. And I got back to the airport, and guess what the phone number on his taxi is for him?
Oh, one's
Yes.
in there. Ones.
Yes. 604-731-1111.
Oh,
So it was like, yeah, you're an angel. And so I get angels all the way along the journey, Angie. They're helping, they're here to help us. We just need to like blurt it and kind of trust it. Because at that point it was like, I'm fucked. you know but I have to have faith, and so if I have faith, then I'm good, and I'm kind of put myself in the arena, and get into some action. So it's all about getting into the action and trusting and having faith for me. Yeah, it was like Easter, and my mom's sick. She passed 3 months ago. So we were focused on her. At that time I was getting dreams. I was having dreams and hearing kind of like biblical stuff, and I haven't gone to church for a long time, like since I was a teenager, but I was hearing like biblical stuff, and prayers, and so we go to this restaurant, and there are three sisters sitting outside the restaurant. So I decide, oh, what have I got to lose? I felt a connection with this one sister, and I thought, oh, I'm going to tell her about my dream and see what she thinks, you know. And I did, and I ended up quoting or reciting the glory be, or something. Glory be to the Father and to the Son and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, it's now and ever shall be, world without end. That one, and telling her about these things from John. And again, I don't I don't remember these. These are from like from going to church when I was a teenager. So I don't know. They're somewhere back there. But I told her about that I've been having these dreams and I've been hearing like holy, 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 and it's like, what's going on? Anyways, she spoke to me and she got something and she ended up giving me these. This is a rosary from Lourdes. And she gave me her rosary, this sister, and it's super, super precious. And so, yeah, so I had this connection with John and with Mary. This is Mary. I don't know if you know Lourdes. At Lourdes, there was a vision. A girl saw visions of Mary. So after that point, after she gave me her rosary from Lourdes, I started seeing light and taking pictures of it, like more light stuff. And so my dad we were having lunch in this restaurant, and I took a picture of my brother and my dad, and behind them there was this yellow, beautiful golden light. Don't know if it's flare or what, but anyways, still I had a sense that it was spirit again, and like Mary, and I keep having. So that's where am I going with this? Yeah, so it started at Easter, and we had a book reading. We do the book readings in community, and wow, that was super powerful because like we ended up at the end of that one. If you watch the recording, Rebecca did some sound something, and we were all in tears because we were really, really filled with spirit, and can't explain it, but yeah, something was really activated in all of us. And that was powerful. So that was Easter, and yeah, and so we were all filled up. We're all filled up, and then I ended up. I still hadn't decided whether I was going to London. You know, why would I go to London? You know, I'm already good. You know, but too much magic was going on. You know, this feeling, this connection, this community, this you know, whatever it was very, very, it was pulling me there, and it felt very sacred, very just beautiful, and I knew I had it. I needed to you know, do whatever I could to get there, even though my mom was dying. So I decided to, and then Steve ends up sending me, you know, a text or something like that. I received text from him, and so I took those again as invitations. I heard them as invitations that I was supposed to be there, and he sent me. Yeah, so it was just like, okay, I'm good, and he's done the same again for India. So yeah, I it's like, how many signs and nudges do you need to believe, or you know, let this connect with this? And so it took a lot, but I knew that I needed to be there. So yeah, got a ticket. Again, this is second trip in 2 years. We hadn't been traveling, and under the circumstances, I shouldn't have been traveling at all, but I knew it was important for whatever reason. And so then I met you.
Yeah.
You and Matt at the Columbia. Andrea Andreas, actually, he posted something about the Columbia Hotel in London. That's actually where Simple Minds, they created much of their music there. They were inspired in the bar area, the lounge area there. They lived there in that hotel. And so I was like, yeah, I want to stay there, not just any Airbnb. I want to stay there because there was something there. And so yeah, we had the pre-night party, and I connected with you. I had more magic connection with Rose. Rose, Rose.
Really hearing that for you, the experiences just was a big eye opener to show you where you were meant to be, where you were meant to go. If you opened up to everything that was coming through, I'm really hearing that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Wow. And what's kind of shown up for you since? What's been the change in who you've been in the world from those experiences since the events? What's been different?
Everything. Basically everything. Really, it's I get to create my days. I get to create my life. I get to surrender the big stuff to and all the past stuff to I leave that behind, and now I'm in a different mode. I'm in creator mode, I'm in play mode, I'm in a different mode. I'm connected to this now, and so I trust it. It's not logical, it's not a logical way of being, but it's from I don't need to think about it. I don't need to think about it. I just need to follow it and trust it.
Wow.
And it leads beautiful places and to beautiful connections. I'm so grateful for you, Angie. I didn't know that you would think to ask me, and I'm so grateful that you did, because it reminds me that this is what I'm doing, and this is who I am, and I don't need to make anything up. And I just need to be here in the moment and use the gifts and be with the person in front of me and serve them and love them. And I see greatness, I see beauty, I see the hearts of of everyone I meet. So that's what I want people to I want to reflect that to people, their beauty, their inner spirit, their strength, and their power, and their truth. Because people, I mean, I've been, I think, holding back way too much, and it's time to be less of that and all of who we are supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't recognize myself from last year, and it's a beautiful way to be, to just be and play with it. We've got so much to play with and so much to create. We really can create anything. Like, you created this from nothing, but and actually your idea, how can I serve? So you were coming from that place, and now you've enrolled me and committed me. I am in.
I can't wait to see you again in India.
I can't wait to see you, Angie. It's been too long. I want to play more. This is it's meant to be joyful and fun and playful, and we get to share our gifts. And you have a very I remember you and Matt very much. So I'm very grateful that you are in this position to spread this out to as many people that want to play and use their gifts.
I feel very grateful to be in the position where I've seen the changes within me and what it's just brought up in everyone else. And it's just absolutely amazing. And for me, it was just the power of being in that room with all of those people that we just stood within who they really, really are, instead of who we can often believe we are. And that is so powerful when you're in the presence of even one person that's connected into that, but to be in the presence of many people who are connected into that, it's just something indescribable.
There are no words. And the energy in that room in London, in Phoenix, there were, I think, 300 people. In London, I think they were about 500 people. And India, don't know, but I think it's going to be more than that. And yeah, when you're all when we're all together in and coming from that place, it's very powerful.
Yeah, I hope every single one of those spaces is filled, and I know for sure that everyone that's meant to be there will be there. And what would you say to anyone that is unsure about whether to be in India?
Check your sit and listen to yourself. Just sit and be quiet, and you'll know the truth. Because it's gonna change you. Not only change you, it's gonna change the way you see everything, the way you do everything. So from the inside out, it'll change you from the inside out. If you're up for you're ready for that, then don't think about it, just do it. Trust it. It's we're the proof that you can be free of anything that doesn't serve you, and live from like right now. You don't need to do anything special to uh be. You just need to get out of your own, we get to get out of our own way and create
Yeah.
that being.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Andrea. It's been amazing to talk to you today.
Angie,
And
thank you.
I cannot wait to see you in India and whoever else is going to come and join us. Thank you. Thank you.